I think that's a multi-answer question. That I think there's a variety of stakeholders whose communication rights we have to take into consideration. We have to take into consideration audience rights, rights of access to information, etc. We need to take into account speaker rights, and there's certainly many different categories of speaker. The individual versus the institutional speaker, and the nature of those rights can differ. I think we almost have to, even within that context, sort of start to make distinctions between intermediaries' rights versus speakers' rights, etc. So those are the categories that come to mind off the top of my head, that all matter and that all intersect and definitely, impinge on each other's rights potentially.
Whose rights? Well, communication rights are rights of individuals. Every individual human being should have the right to communicate. That should be the focus, and we shouldn't be distracted by claims that corporations have communication rights and all kinds of nonsense of that sort.
Well, for me, communication rights are the rights of citizens, so of individuals living in our societies. That's the right to be informed, the right to participate in public debate, be it political or non-political, but also the right to be exposed to different opinions, different ideas in society, and the right to engage and participate with mediated communication.
In my account, communication rights are, certainly they are everybody's rights. And there is a very, close relationship between human rights and communication rights. They are individual rights, but again, we know that all individuals are located and they live in some kind of societal context. So we have always also to take this social side into account. And it means also that individual communication rights are always in relation to their communities or social groups where they are living. So there is a certain conditions where and how the individual communication rights can be exercised.
I think these are the rights of basically everyone. Yesterday we talked about the citizens, but of course we're not talking only about the citizens. We speak about all the residents, so to speak, of this world, of this environment, where we simply need to focus on the issue of their participation, on their right to access, and their possibility to, of course, to be protected.
This is a great question. I think it's an inherently controversial question. We should always be debating this. Entire societies should be engaged with deciding whose rights we're talking about. In my view, it should be the people's rights, everyone's rights. It shouldn't just be the rights of corporations or particular groups. In some ways, we might think of this as collective rights, but certainly at the very least human rights that are universal in nature.